there for an hour and 3/4.
Prism! Come here, Prism! Where is that baby?
28 years ago, Prism, you left Lord Bracknell's house, number 104, Upper Grosvenor Street, in charge of the preambulator that contained a baby of male sex. You never returned. A few weeks later, though, the elaborate investigations of the Metropolitan Police, the preambulator was discovered at midnight, standing by itself in a remote corner of Bayswater. It contained the manuscript of the 3-volume novel of more than usually revolting sentimentality. But the baby was not there!
Prism! Where is that baby?
Lady Bracknell, I admit with shame that I do not know. I only wish that I did. The plain facts of the case are these. On the morning of the day you mention, a day that is forever branded in my memory, I prepared as usual to take the baby out in its perambulator. I had also with me a somewhat old but capacious handbag in which I had intended to place the manuscript of a work of fiction that I had written during my few unoccupied hours. In a moment of mental abstraction, for which I can never forgive myself, I deposited the manuscript in the bassinet and placed the baby in the handbag.
Miss Prism! This is a matter of no small importance to me. I insist on knowing where you deposited the handbag that contained the infant!
I left it in the cloakroom of one of the larger railway stations in London.
What railway station?
Victoria, the Brighton line.
I must retire to my room for a moment. Gwendolyn, wait for me.
If you're not too long, I will wait with you all my life.
What do you think this means, Lady Bracknell?
I dare not even suspect, Dr. Chesney. I need hardly to tell you that in families of high position, strange coincidences are not supposed to occur. They are hardly considered the thing.
Uncle Jack seems strangely agitated.
Your guardian has a very emotional nature.
The noise is very unpleasant. It sounds as if he was having an argument. I dislike arguments of any kind. They are always vulgar and often convincing.
It has stopped now.
I wish you would arrive at some conclusion.
The suspense is terrible. I hope it will last.
Is this your handbag, Miss Prism? Examine it carefully before you make your decision. The happiness of more than one life depends on your answer.
It seems to be mine. Yes, here's the injury it received through the upsetting of a Gower Street omnibus in younger and happier days. Here is the stain on the lining caused by the explosion of a temperance beverage, an incident that occurred at Leamington. And here on the lock are my initials. I'd forgotten that in an extravagant mood I'd had them placed there. The bag is undoubtedly mine. I am delighted to have it so unexpectedly restored to me. It has been a great inconvenience being without it all these years.
Miss Prism, more is restored to you than this handbag. I was the baby you placed in it. You? Yes, Mother!
Mr. Worthing, I am unmarried!
Unmarried? I do not deny that is a serious blow. But after all, who has the right to cast a stone against the one who has suffered? Cannot repentance wipe out an act of folly? Why should there be more than one law for men and another for women? Mother, I forgive you.
Mr. Worthing, there is some error! There is the lady who can tell you who you really are.
Lady Bracknell, I hate to seem inquisitive. Would you kindly inform me of who I am?
I'm afraid that the news I have to give you will not altogether please you. You are the son of my poor sister, Mrs. Moncrief, and consequently, Algon's elder brother.
Algy's elder brother! Then I have a brother after all. I always knew I had a brother. I always said I had an elder brother. Cecily, how could you have ever doubted I had an elder brother? Dr. Charles Paul, my unfortunate brother. Miss Prism, my unfortunate brother. Gwendolyn, my unfortunate brother. How do you, young scoundrel? You have to treat me with better respect in the future. You've never behaved like a brother at all in your life.
Well, not till today, I admit. I did my best, however, though I was out of practice.
My own! But what own are you? What is your Christian name now that you've become someone else?
Good heavens, I had quite forgotten at that point. Your decision on the subject name is irrevocable, I suppose.
I never change, except in my affections.
What a noble nature you have, Gwendolyn. Then the question had better be cleared up at once. Aunt Augusta, a moment. At the time when Miss Prism left me in the handbag, had I been christened already?
Every luxury that money could buy, including christening, had been lavished on you by your fond and doting parents.
Then I was christened. Then it's settled. Now, what name was I given? Let me know the worst.
Being the eldest son, you were naturally christened after your father.
Oh, yes, but what was my father's Christian name?
I cannot at the present moment recall what the general's Christian name was, but I have no doubt he had one, and was eccentric, I admit, but only in yet later years, and that was the result of the Indian climate and marriage and indigestion and other things of that kind.
Algie, can't you recollect what our father's Christian name was?
My dear boy, we were never even on speaking terms. He died before I was a year old.
His name would appear in the army lists of the period, I suppose. Aunt Augusta.
The general was essentially a man of peace, except in his domestic life. But I have no doubt his name would appear in any military directory.
The army lists of the last 40 years are here. These delightful records should have been my constant study. Generals. Marlowe, Marksville, Magic. What ghastly names they are. Markby, Migsby, Mobbs, Moncrief, Lieutenant 1840, Captain, Lieutenant Colonel, General 1869. Christian names. Earnest John. I always told you, Gwendolyn. My name is Earnest, didn't I? Well, it is Earnest after all. I mean, naturally, it is Earnest.
Ah, yes. I remember now that the general was called Earnest. I knew I had a particular reason for disliking the name.
Ernest! My own Ernest! I thought from the first you could have no other name.
Gwendolyn, it is such a terrible thing for a man to find out suddenly that all his life he has been speaking nothing but the truth. Can you forgive me?
I can, but I feel you're sure to change.
My own one!
Letitia!
Frederick, at
Oh.
last!
Cecily, at last!
Gwendolyn, at last!
My nephew, you seem to be displaying signs of triviality.
On the contrary, Aunt Augusta, I have now realized for the first time the vital importance of being earnest.